Dude, what episode is this?
73. 7.
I think your math is wrong on that one. It's
6.
episode 5. Bro, are you just counting down? Like,
Yeah,
are you just counting down?
I think that's 7.
Dude, it's literally episode 5. Why? Really?
I feel like we did way more than that.
Oh my god. No, we don't do an intro here. All right, Matt. Episode 5, day ones. It's the holidays,
Poggers.
man. You say pogger, dude.
Poggers.
Okay. I don't even know where to go from there.
Happy holidays, brother.
Happy holidays, man.
It's
We
officially
got
winter today, actually, by the way.
Yeah, you know what's crazy?
But you guys probably don't even have snow.
No,
I'm getting a blizzard, so that'd be
it snowed in northern. I'm like more South Jersey. It snowed in
Jersey
northern
Shore.
Jersey, but we don't have snow like you do, obviously.
Dude, I don't know how people have snow with like. I've never had no snow with Christmas. Like, imagine living like in Texas and just being
Wait,
like
for real?
hot.
You've never had? I mean, I've had it in New Jersey.
There's always
obviously.
just snow. I just wonder what Christmas would be like with no snow. I feel like it'd be sad. I don't know.
I feel
Like you
it-
look outside and there's just always snow. Like having a tree. Like I don't know.
I
can
don't.
always just,
It definitely.
like for me,
I've
it's just
had
weird.
both experiences. It definitely feels more like Christmas, like when there's snow.
Like whenever you think Christmas, you think of snow, right? Like in the movies, there's always like
Yeah.
the tree and the snow.
Yeah,
like
sure.
I don't know. It just feels weird.
Sure. I mean,
I'm
you're
so
not
used
wrong.
to it. I don't know.
Dude,
I just feel like if
Canada-
you're in Texas, it's like you go outside. It's like, why is it plus 90 on Christmas? Like, no. For me, it's always cold, and I don't know.
It's always terribly cold though.
Yeah,
where you're
Christmas
at.
vibes. Always.
Yeah, you know what's
snow.
crazy though? It is the first day of winter today, and it's actually wild to think about because I don't know. I just feel like at some point in November, I swore I thought it was winter. You know what I mean?
I swear when yeah, it was like minus 50 during November. So
Well,
trust me.
Canada is like its own separate beast. I
Yeah, we're
think
also built different.
yeah, exactly. You're just built
Yeah, we're
different.
built different.
All right, talking about some stuff. We're just going to talk about the Halo esports section of the blog post. I'll link it down below. I recorded a video already talking about this stuff, but I just go over like an overview on it for my video. Today when we talk about it, Matt and I are going to like, actually explain some things and give our thoughts. So Matt, you said you kind of looked at the thing, but didn't really completely, right?
I read it, but it was super long. I was trying to find like the good stuff.
Yeah, the good stuff
And-
is the esports section.
Yeah, I read that part.
Nice
I read
job.
some of it. I was just skimming because it was
No, I
way too
know.
long, and
It's kind of all the same.
it's
and
like what interests me.
Yeah,
And then I
feel-
read the flighting part, right? Was that
Yep.
in there?
Yep.
And then the esports, and then what was the other thing?
I don't know.
Was that it?
Well, there's stuff covering like Halo 5 and stuff like that. but
Oh yeah. So that was it for the Infinite side.
yeah. Well, it wasn't. I just literally paid attention to the Halo esports. I didn't even pay attention. It was like MCC, Halo esports, and Halo 5.
Oh, I thought they said they're like. Well, I saw they were doing flighting piece. I don't know. I thought I saw that. Or is that a different blog post? I swear it was in that one. But
It's in that one. I think you're
Okay.
referring to the last one that we kind of had mentioned and talked about.
really?
Yeah, there's two that they basically talked about, and
Because I thought the last one they said something about flighting.
Yeah, they did.
They're like,
They did.
they like confirmed it. I thought the last one wasn't confirmed.
Yeah,
or
no,
mine.
I think that they like confirmed it in the last one, and then they kind of like mentioned it again in this one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all. Oh. Jesus, Jesus Christ. No. All right. Anyway, I'll walk you through it though, and we'll kind of like go over and talk about stuff. Ignore it. Just fucking ignore that. Excuse my language. All right. So I have the article up, so I'm gonna like read. I'm not necessarily gonna read from it because you kind of know all the stuff. Are you still laughing?
That was good. I made. I haven't had chuckle. That was a good one. I think I'm,
Are you
I don't
are you
think-
ready? Are you ready to
No.
go or what?
I think I'm good. Probably not though. Let's take a little sip of water.
Can't help it.
All
Bro.
right, I'm ready.
Listen,
Let's
I
talk
can't-
Halo, brother.
No, listen, bro. I can't help. My voice breaks, and you know this. It's from when I literally damaged my vocal cords.
I thought you could say I danced. I did when I was dancing.
Yeah, when I was dancing.
Damage
I
your
did.
vocal cord. When do you damage your vocal cords?
Remember that Daytona event?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That I was really sick and didn't have a voice, and I kept calling out trying to willy you to another win, but I couldn't do it.
Oh yeah, we lost that.
We did.
I forgot about that.
What a
And
waste!
then you also dropped your phone. Remember that?
Yeah.
Tough scenes,
dude.
Just a tough times.
We lost. Okay, this is like a separate story. Basically, I mean, Matt, how sick was I at Daytona? Like, how would you explain?
You're pretty. Did not sound good. Let's just say that this guy was dying.
I had
your voice was screaming for help.
Well, I lost my voice. I had an ear infection. I had bronchitis.
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
And I think I had one other thing wrong with me. I forget what it was. But I basically had to go to the hospital. Like when I flew back home, which I'll be honest, I didn't even think I was gonna make it home. When I flew back home, I had to go to the hospital, like to urgent care, and they were like, "What happened? Like, what happened to you?" You know? No, but yeah, I damaged my vocal cords playing that event. But so basically, play that event, lose that event, or ended up losing it. We blew it in the finals in 2 Game 7s, and we walk out. We walk out of the event, and I had a. Oh man, I don't know if it was an iPhone 8. It might have been like an iPhone like 6. I actually was trying to remember.
Probably the old one. It was like
probably,
2017.
Yeah, it was probably an old one. And I dropped my phone on concrete, and you could just hear as soon as it fell. I mean, Matt, you could tell right away it was gone. Right?
Did it like slip out of your hand or pocket? It was just fun. This is like funny the way it happened. It just like fell.
I don't remember. I just remember it literally drop. Like I remember it falling out of my hand.
I think
it was in my hand.
Normally, it just fell, and then we look and we're like, oh
yeah.
no.
Do you remember Brad and Jenna always tell the story really funny because this is how like I was in such a bad mood after losing, and just how I was feeling. I dropped it. And I didn't even look. Like I didn't like pick up the phone and look to see if it was cracked. I just picked it up and was like, I grabbed it off the ground and just put it back in my pocket like it didn't happen.
He pulls it out 3 hours later. It's just cracked.
Yeah, then we got to like the hotel and I was like, yeah, it's cracked. I think like Brad was literally like, yo, he's like, yo, is your phone cracked?
Down on its screen. No. We're all kind of like, oh, whenever you hear a phone fall on concrete, you're like, oh no. Yeah. You just like picked it up, just didn't even say anything, just kept walking. We're just like,
I was so done with that place at that point. I was like, I don't even care. I knew it was cracked. I didn't look because I knew. I heard it. As soon as I dropped it and it hit the ground, I literally heard I heard like a crunch, and I was like, okay, like that's just my life now. Like I'm just I don't care. Like I felt like death. I needed to get back to like the hotel. I think that's where we were going.
The Florida heat, baby. It didn't suck out the cold.
Well, you remember I changed my flight to go home. Do you remember that?
Wait, were you supposed to go back to Chicago?
No, I actually don't know if I was supposed to go to Chicago. I had like a later-ish flight. I don't know if I was going back to Chicago. Like I don't know if I was going to the Scuff House or if I was going back to New Jersey to visit my parents. But I had like an afternoon flight, and I felt so sick that I thought, and I was probably right, if I waited until the afternoon, I don't think I would have been able to get on my flight. I think I would have been like
just too
like I needed to go like to the hospital, like basically. And to be honest, looking back on it, like I should have just gone there because I think I actually made myself worse flying with how sick I was.
Yeah. But I'd hate to go to the hospital somewhere else though.
That was kind of the thing.
I don't like to go somewhere in a different, like, what if you have to like stay overnight or something randomly?
You know what it was? I told myself, and it was really dumb at the time because I didn't know how sick I actually, like, I didn't know how many things were wrong with me. I just thought I was really sick, obviously. And my parents picked me up from the airport. I call them, and I think I called them that night. I was like, hey, I'm coming home. I need you to pick me up from the airport. Like I need to go home. And they picked me up from the airport. They were ready to bring me to the hospital or like to urgent care as soon as they got me, right? Because they heard the whole thing. They knew what was happening. And you know what I said to them?
No, you said no, right?
I said no. I was literally so tired, bro, because I didn't sleep like all weekend. I couldn't sleep the entire weekend for whatever reason as well. And like, I'm taking like NyQuil, like I'm doing everything possible to try to get a good night's rest with how sick I am. they picked me up, and I go, they are like, all right, we're gonna take you to urgent care, and I was like, no, I literally got like pissed. I was like, no, I'm like, I'll be okay. I said, I just need 2 nights rest. That's what I go. I need 2 nights rest in my bed. That's literally what I said. And then 2 days went by, and it was like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I like wrote my dad. I think he was at work, and I was like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to urgent care or something like that.
Like, yeah, these 2 days were shocked.
Yeah, it was a waste. It was a waste. I should have gone. Honestly, bro, I should have gone like on like Thursday of the event, and maybe I could have had a fighting chance on Sunday. But you learn, you live and you learn. You know.
Yeah, next time your vocal cords are getting ripped out. I don't know.
Yeah.
That shit. I don't like going. That'd be weird.
I wouldn't want. I wouldn't want to go somewhere else.
I'd probably ride it out. I'd be like, eh.
I was just really sick. Like I 100%, 9 out of 10 times don't want to go anywhere else. But with how sick I knew how sick I actually was. Like it was just, I don't even know what, I don't know. It was fucking
emergency
terrible.
Couldn't fight it off. Bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, emergency. All the
when
medicine
the
in the
emergency
world.
can't fight it off. Like
Couldn't sleep for anything. I was getting like 2 hours of sleep a night because of how much I was coughing. All right. Anyway, wrapping up, me dropping my phone and just basically dying on site. In this blog post, they announce them. They haven't really like announced it. They said more to share later, but they announced the partnership program, and it's basically them working with organizations and getting orgs feedback. And they talk about how it's been the plan for Halo coming from the orgs. So I think the first thing to talk about is like, how big do you think that is for Halo esports? Because from my perspective, I think it's a ridiculously good move by them, because in Halo 5, I think that the orgs jumping in, jumping out aspect was already so tough for a fan base, and then the second issue with it really is orgs. Like, you remember when we were trying to negotiate, like when we left Optic and we were going to an org or trying to go to an org, when we were trying to like negotiate our deal, right? We couldn't, because there was no roadmap or nothing announced. So it was always like, well, we can't make a deal.
He's like trying to get like an inside scoop.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like,
so how do you,
out, like,
how do you feel about the partnership program? Like, pros of it, cons of it. How are you feeling about it?
I don't know. I don't think there's any cons, to be honest. I can't really think of a con right now. I think it's just pure pros.
Agreed.
I mean, it's like the best thing for orgs, because I mean, if you're an org, you never want to be like where you were in H5, where it's like, do I want to pick up this team and not, like, you potentially don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
It's like that's like probably the worst. I mean, it probably stopped how many orgs. I mean, C9 dropped out. I mean, did EG drop out half? Or EG left,
so
right?
EG,
like after Ninja or whatever, like in that little era.
EG ended up leaving. C9 ended up
C9.
leaving. Allegiance, obviously, I think just like left, but also ended up going bankrupt. Obviously, bankrupt. I think they did. I don't know. They closed shop. Luminosity ended up leaving.
Yeah,
Optic left. Liquid left. Right.
Holy crap! Yeah, that's actually a lot of people.
Yeah,
Jesus.
by the very end, like those were all like, it was an overtime thing, but by the end, that's what happened.
No, I think it's definitely good. It keeps orgs around and keeps like secure. I mean, like, I look at every esport; it's always got like top orgs in it.
Yeah,
and you need. I mean, you just need like the big orgs. It just brings fans, like having people from Liquid, like, from other games coming to Halo, and just, I mean, it's good for the orgs too, because I mean, they need reliability. You can't just sign a Halo team and then you don't know what's gonna happen like 3 months later.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not. It's all about investment. It's not worth. But now it's like actually really good. So I'm happy. I don't think there's any cons, to be honest. I don't know.
I agree. I don't think there are any, to be honest. I was setting you up to kind of say it, because I agree completely. I don't think there's any cons to it. To be honest, I think that we'll see what ends up happening with it, and you can kind of tell me if you feel the same. But I think that a partnership program where they're working with orgs and stuff like that is probably best case scenario, because we aren't in a spot to go into a franchise league. And I hope that them saying they're doing a partnership program means that we're not getting a franchise league, right? So it's a way for them to like work directly with organizations and create, because they announced obviously that they're going to still have this 1 year roadmap. So it's a way for the orgs to be included in the roadmap without being a franchise, like a franchise league.
Yeah, it's good. Don't really no downsides. Glad they can do that now.
Yeah.
Especially before the game comes on, not like during. Like have it all figured out. Like before the game comes out, so orgs know.
Yeah, I mean, like when we have to get to the game, and I can only say that so many times because that's the hardest part of what's happening at the moment. It's just we got to get there. That's the difficult part. Is just the downtime to actually getting to where we need to go. But once we get there, all things are looking pretty good. We have a 1-year roadmap. We have a Halo World Championship, which we'll talk about in a minute, obviously. And orgs have this involvement. They're hoping that every event will be on LAN by essentially like 2022 kind of thing. Yeah. So I mean, I'm pumped for it. Jumping into the next topic of the blog post, flighting. We kind of already talked about this. I don't think we need to talk about it an insane amount, but flight testing more further confirmed.
Let's go.
Obviously a good thing. I think the thing that's cool about it for me, and you and I were kind of talking about this, I just like them confirming it more, because the more they talk about it and the more they confirm it, the less they can go back on it. As bad as that sounds.
Well, if they just keep saying it, so it's not like a one-time thing.
Exactly.
Like they're not kind of like just benching it. They're kind of like stating like there will be flight testing.
Yeah. Because it should. If they're saying it now, then I think that because they said it when they announced the delay of the game further, like until fall. I couldn't think of my words. Fall 2021, and they included the flight testing being a big part of what they want to do, and then they're saying it again now. I feel like it's kind of like almost like cemented. Like we are going to get flight testing. I'm really excited for this. Again, we've already talked about it, so I don't want to talk people's ear off about it. I think that we have a real opportunity with flight testing to put ourselves in best case scenario.
Yeah, this is actually perfect. Hopefully, get a little pre-release tourneys.
I think they're needed.
Yeah,
I think we
get like the infinite esport like started early.
I would love to see.
Give people like a little jiggle peek.
I would love to see esport tournaments. And then how they do like Twitch Rivals and stuff like that?
Yeah,
I would love to see a style of, whether it be Twitch Rivals or a style of Twitch Rivals where you just get content creators involved. Doesn't have to be super sweat, but just like how cool would it be to have like an esports tournament one weekend, and then a Twitch Rivals or something, just something that gets creators really involved. Because I want creators to be a big part of.
That's probably what they'll do, honestly. They'll probably do like the Twitch Rivals thing before the esports thing.
I'm for
I think
it.
maybe that'd probably be smarter because that gets the most eyes. Like even if the pro players play it, it's probably smarter to get like someone that's like a popular streamer playing it, like NickMercs or something.
Yeah. Do you think
they'll probably do that? Hopefully, maybe.
I have a question for you, and this is a little bit more off topic, but I wanted to get your thoughts on it because I saw this being a topic in Halo Twitter. And then this week, how do you feel about Halo and HCS? And I shouldn't say HCS. It's really just like 343, isn't it? Or like Microsoft paying people to promote their games. Apparently, I don't know if there was a report or what the case may be, but there are a lot of Halo competitors that are upset at these streamers that haven't played Halo or don't play Halo consistently. They're upset at Microsoft like throwing money at them to promote their game and promote their releases. How do you kind of feel about it?
Wait, are they doing that? Or are you saying if they do
that?
They
did. Apparently they did it. Apparently for I don't actually know. No, apparently it was like Reach PC. I don't want to say the dollar amount because I don't know how true it is. I really didn't look too much into it. I just saw a lot of competitors upset about it, and I kind of want to like give my take
I didn't even
on
know
it.
This is a thing. What the heck?
Yeah, it was basically like some players commenting on it, like calling out 343 for like paying streamers to promote, but then they're like, we have such little prize money obviously in our game right now, so it's like they were like critiquing that. It's like you really giving money to them and not us kind of thing. So how do you feel about it?
I don't know. I don't really doesn't like bother me if they pay people to, I mean, like, I don't know, what other games do that? Because I know some games do it, but like, did Valorant do that? The only problem is like I feel like there's a trend where like people,
I don't know.
I don't know if Valorant did.
I don't know.
Nah,
I mean,
I think
I know like Warzone does or Call of Duty does. Like people do like partnered streams.
Like Apex did too.
Apex
Yeah,
does it.
I
know Fortnite has done it.
They did. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, because like I want to say like it's not good, because I feel like games that do it are like trying to like be desperate, but at the same time, like, I mean, look at like Apex, Fortnite, those aren't really like desperate games.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think it's like a terrible thing. Like I feel like it's, I mean, if it's part of like your marketing strategy, I mean, people do it all the time, not with gaming. They do it with like, celebrities and stuff. I don't think it's a big, I don't really like what the hell is the prize money? I don't know. Someone was saying that about the prize money.
Competitors are complaining about giving money to streamers and not.
I mean, we're playing. I don't know.
And like the Twitch rival. Excuse me, I misspoke. It was about Twitch rival. It was about promotional stuff and Twitch rivals. I think it might have just been Twitch rivals.
I remember. Yeah, I think it's the Twitch rivals, because I remember people getting mad that we were playing in the Twitch rival. Like people were like, "Oh, they're putting." Because remember, there was a decent amount of money in Twitch rivals. Like it was a lot of money in Twitch rivals. It was like wasn't the first one like 5? Because I won the first one. I actually don't remember what team with Beast, but it was like $5,000 for first.
Yeah.
And I remember, I literally got 5,000, and like that was like that's literally like a whole tournament. Which I mean, I kind of agree, but I don't know. I don't know who was saying it. Was like this an amateur player? Because
I know, like I saw like KCP guys tweeting about it. And then there were other people. I'm not calling them out specifically, because there was quite a few people saying it. I have mixed feelings. I have mixed feelings. To be honest with you,
I get it. I don't know how to agree. I'm like biased because I was playing in it. So like, peace.
But this is the thing. I agree. I understand. Of like, oh man, it sucks that we're not getting that money, and biased to what Matt just said. We got to compete in it, so I'm obviously not going to feel as strongly. I can't comment as if we significantly feel the same impact as other people. Like Matt, you just said that, right?
Oh yeah, like if I wasn't playing in it, I'd probably be more pissed. Like if I wasn't playing it and I'm seeing people playing it, I'd be like, well, I mean, it just sucks.
100%.
So I'm biased. I can't really I can see it from both sides, but obviously
But on the flip side of it, and this is why I wanted to say kind of like how I feel about it. On the flip side of it, I'm aware of where the issue kind of lies, and then on the flip side of that, it's like, well, what they're trying to do with Twitch rivals and even paid promotion stuff, right, is they're trying to make the game have a stable population. Obviously, all things aside of like just making a great game and stuff like that, this is one of the ways you do it. We had Summit and 72 Hours, and I mean, like so many creators, who might, some obviously played Halo, but maybe some who haven't played in a long time, jumping back over. It didn't stick. It didn't work, right? So it didn't work to where like a population stayed. So I think that people's opinions are always going to be slightly worsened by that. But say you host this Twitch Rivals event, right? With Summit, and what were some of the other creators in it? Like Summit was in it.
Summit, 72 Hours.
Gigs, right?
Gigs.
Big
Star.
Big Star was in it. Yeah, so like really like some big name people were
Dr.
playing.
Lupo, I think was.
Oh, I don't think Lupo was in it.
Really?
Anyway, no, I don't think he was. I could be wrong. I don't think he was. But anyway, the point being, if they do in an alternate universe, right? They host that tournament or host a couple of these tournaments, and it brings in these big audiences that let's be real, we don't have if they're not playing in it. Halo without Summit isn't pulling 10K viewers at the moment on a random Tuesday or whatever day the tournament's held, Thursday. And the hope behind it is by having this tournament, you're going to bring in an audience, you're going to bring in a population that's going to stick, so that later events can have positive, this event will have a positive influence on later events. The hope is you're going to bring in a population, you're going to bring in viewership, and then you're going to have more and more tournaments for, Halo esports because of that success. But it didn't end up happening. So it's like,
Yeah.
I
get why they did it, because it was also like Reach was the first one, right? Like
Yeah,
the first
it was the
PC
very first
release.
one.
So they're trying
Yeah.
to like hype it up and make it like good.
Yeah.
Which I can like, I don't know, I kind of understand.
Because
So
is anyone complaining if MCC starts pulling in 20K viewers every single day? Like if they host that Twitch Rivals and MCC starts pulling in this insane viewership, or like let's just say a healthier viewership,
no one would care.
No one
like,
would care
about-
because
they'd spend money, obviously.
yeah,
but-
because you have other avenues on how it's going to help you, but obviously it didn't end up happening. So that's where kind of I think the difference comes through. I get it. I get both sides. I just want to get your opinion on it. I think we're kind of the same on it. We see both sides of it. Do you get what I'm saying though? Of like what the purpose of it?
I don't know. I don't feel like it wasn't like, I get why people could be mad, but they're doing it for like they're trying to like make the game more popular. They're trying to like just get hype to it. It's
promotion.
Not like they're doing it to like, they're like trying to give other people money for free. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a promotional tool,
Yeah.
and creators
and unfortunately people that are popular they are the ones who get the promotion. Okay, look at the streamers, they get the money. Like, that's just how it works.
100%.
If you're popular and you bring in viewers, you're going to be the one getting paid. So
Creators drive such a in this world now. Creators drive such a massive audience that it's a necessary like promotion. I don't want to say it's a necessary promotional tool for everyone, but it's a very useful promotional tool to get people to play your games. Because I mean, I don't know about you, but I see streamers playing stuff all the time, and it's like, let me go play this game now. It's literally how I found Among Us,
Yeah. No, literally. And what was I gonna say? It's like bro, have you seen Aim Gods? Like this Final Mouse, like
I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
Like that's literally the same thing. They just so they released a mouse yesterday.
Okay.
And they're releasing a game at the same time, and they're like promoting the game, and they just did a $250,000 tournament.
Oh wow.
Which was invitational only.
Oh shit.
So like, I just watched someone win yesterday, and like Summit was in it. Zate from Fortnite.
Yeah.
Him.
Zoms is in it.
Mendo. I think Ace
Sinatra and
was in it.
Zoms.
I think they're in it. Yeah. And like, I literally saw Zate win last night. They both won 125. Or he won 125,000. And like, it's just ridiculous. And it's like that's paid. That's literally paid promotion. They're paying off their own game, but like they're paying off people. I mean, I guess it's different because like the game's just new.
Dude,
but
we need to get on Aim Gods.
That's literally what they're, bro. Yeah, and I was just like, it's just absurd. I mean, it has like really nothing to do with Halo, but I saw that yesterday.
It's the point.
I saw
the point
paid
stands.
promotion. I'm like, dude, what? Like, I mean, everyone does it now. You literally have to. Every game that comes out is being paid. I don't think I've seen a game that comes out that someone doesn't pay. I feel like all the BRs, like, every time everyone does it. I mean, you said they did it with Warzone, they did it with Fortnite, they did it with Apex. I see people do it still with Apex. Like, even years later, they still do it.
Yeah. Well, a new
like,
season drops.
I saw Ace, all these people. Like,
yeah.
So it's not even like it's a desperate thing either. Like, some people think like they do it because their game, like, I can't think of a dead game or something. Not a dead game, but like a game that's not popular that they're trying to revive. But even like Apex, like a new season, they're like, all right, time to pull in the people, start paying like, ASU, time to come play.
Yeah.
You really see in a sponsored stream, just like, like it's smart.
Yeah. I mean,
ASU with 20,000 viewers. Like,
it's like I said, I think that's just the deal. It's again, it's creators have such a driving force now. I get I don't think we need to stick on the topic any longer. I get the frustration, as do you, but it's just now become one of those things, like where like promotion, I think we talked about this like in our first ever podcast. Halo has always struggled so significantly with how they promote things and how they do things. And like, when I saw Twitch Rivals and stuff, again, biased because we're playing in it, but I literally thought to myself, finally we have some of these big content creators coming in. Honestly, had we had something other than Halo Reach, I think that we could have had a real fighting chance, because Reach just did not have. I think this to the day of like Reach back in 2011, it just didn't have the longevity because of the map pool,
Yeah. Well, then also you throw on the Summit aim assist stuff.
Yeah. Oh, we don't.
And
I
then,
don't
like,
even.
it
Need
kind
it.
of
We
got
don't gotta get into
it
that.
kind of got like a negative vibe
Yeah.
because remember everyone's like, dude, controller's so OP and reach.
Yeah.
Like I don't even want to play. And then that was like that's a different.
It
topic,
kind
but
of
that
it kind of had
sucked,
the
yeah.
opposite effect of what they wanted to happen.
Like
yeah.
putting more negativity on it because something like
But
I guess that's what happens.
Summit loved it, and he played it even though he was complaining about it. But had
Yeah.
Summit loved it and just sung the
Maybe
high
kept playing
praises,
for,
right?
like-
Imagine
Yeah.
what could have happened. That's the point. Imagine what could happen had he loved it and just kept playing it every day, 10K, 20K, however much.
Yeah, he'd play. But it's just like eventually he was just kind of I don't know, he's like over it and then.
Well, I don't blame him. Because
maybe if they did like Halo 2 or something, because more people play like H2 or H3. I think if H3 were released first, maybe it would have been like obviously they wouldn't reach because of the order, but I think more people would have liked H3.
Yeah,
I think it would have been.
Well, I mean,
but,
NickMercs and Cloaksy and Cypher PK,
they
they all were playing it. I mean, imagine if that would have, that
imagine
could have been Twitch rivals
for
for
H3 or
that.
something.
Yeah, exactly.
Could have been maybe a little bit bigger. You'd have NickMercs playing it for longer, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Problem is like they'll never last. That's the only thing I have the problem with is like they'll play it, but since it's an old game, like they're not gonna play H3 like over and over again. They're gonna have to go play like
something else. They're gonna go back
current
onto
games,
Warzone or Valorant or whatever.
That's the only bad
is.
part.
Yeah, I think
that's why it all stems back to hey, I need a new Halo game.
Yeah, I was gonna say it all kind of ties back. I think that the point being, they did something different. Halo's never done that before. They did something different, and
Twitch rivals.
We've never seen it before in Halo. I think it's a step in. We've talked about it. I think it's a step in the right direction, and I hope that they use it. I do hope that they use it for Infinite, because if we can get big creators onto the game again, and the game's dope, and maybe they release a BR or like whatever the case may be, then every single Halo player should be. I know it's a bitter feeling because you might not be able to participate, and trust me, I'd feel the same if I didn't get to, and maybe I won't. Maybe I won't be able to play on all this stuff for Infinite. Maybe Matt won't. But if it can help the game overall, it's okay. That's right? Like it will help overall. It's just a necessity, and I think like, okay, let's tie this into our next talking point, right? In the blog post, they confirm. I don't know if it was confirmed or not before. I don't know if you could tell me. It basically confirmed Halo World Championship and Halo Infinite. And something not a lot of people have picked up on that I saw, and I'm sitting here real happy about it. They announced the World Championship, and then they throw in the word minimum. A minimum.
I saw that too, and I don't think anyone really.
No one commented. No one said anything about it.
Minimum, so it's kind of like
we're getting crowdfunding again. 100%. I think it's almost 100%.
It sounds like it's
lawyers pending.
That's what I thought the same thing. It hit with the minimum, like. Won't they just say $1 million and just like call it a day and like, but they said minimum, so it's kind of like either they're somehow baiting or they're kind of like saying, it's $1 million, crowdfunding or like plus, or they're gonna add something to the like,
The only reason I'm not saying 100% is because there's always something that could go wrong, like when it comes to lawyers and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I think that the word minimum is thrown in for a very specific reason. So tie that in with our last point. Halo Pros upset over not being able to play Twitch Rivals. If, Summit playing in Twitch Rivals is going to get more people on your game, which is then going to help your crowdfunded tournament later on, we're not mad. No one should be mad about it because it's an obvious benefit. Again, reach different case, but how do you feel about, can you tell me if it was confirmed before? We obviously had our suspicions and our thoughts of like,
I don't think the Worlds was.
I don't think it was actually confirmed.
I don't think
right?
it was. I honestly couldn't. I feel like this one was the first time I remember seeing it, but I could be wrong because I don't really read it. But that was the first time I scrolled down and it literally said Halo World Championship because they confirmed the roadmap. They said there's going to be Worlds. And then that's when I read the minimum part. I don't think it was another one. Could be wrong, though.
How do you feel like, so obviously there's been not much positive news for Halo. How do you feel like now? Like, obviously it's still far out, but kind of confirming what we already thought / knew. $1 million tournament, confirming basically that they're intending on doing crowdfunding. Are you kind of looking at it a little bit more positive than maybe you were like a couple weeks ago when we like last talked about it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just happy like the roadmap stays the same, and I feel like nothing's changing. They're kind of like set on what they want to do, so I'm pretty happy.
You feel like?
Do
you feel like with them announcing Worlds, you think it's gonna draw in players back, like bring people back through?
Oh, everyone's coming. Everyone always comes back. Every new Halo, I'll probably get Fear itself. But who's coming back?
Well, like just not even necessarily like old pros coming back, but like about like new players. I feel like Infinite was pretty. Infinite was pretty hype. Like back in July, like people were really excited for the game, man. Like people were really looking forward to it, and I feel like we lost kind of our momentum because of the delays and stuff. And I think when there's flight tests and stuff, it'll probably pick back up and good things will happen, right? But do you feel like that $1 million tournament plus crowdfunding, when they release that roadmap, do you feel like that's like gonna be people's like, I need to go play this game?
Yeah, it could be. Well, I mean, it's just you literally know what you're could be playing for. So like if you're an amateur, you're like, all right, sick. Like new games coming out, that's like the perfect time. It's kind of just like when Valorant came out. It's like people see it like a new shooter game, and you probably get like a bunch of different players that maybe have never played Halo. Especially now it's on PC. Like ties into the other part where
I was thinking about
the game's gonna be on PC.
I was thinking about this too. I was hoping you would have an answer. Do you remember how many teams were competing at the first couple Halo 5 qualifiers? Like the first couple Halo 5 online qualifiers to qualify for regionals. I mean, we had like 100+ teams, right?
Wasn't there like way more than that?
I think there might have been. If anyone in the comments knows, feel free. But
Moses has a picture of it. I thought there was like, I could be off the sauce. Was there? No, there wasn't 600, right? Is that too much?
That's probably too much. I don't think they would have ran a 600 team bracket in one day.
Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure there was like 250 plus.
Really?
I remember seeing the thing, like the first regional qualifiers
had 200
like online
teams.
whenever we played in them. Had like 250 plus. Moses has a graph and it shows of all the tournament.
I'll take a look at that.
All the tournament
qualifiers,
like attendances, like how many people there were, and it shows like the teams from every event. He has them from like H2A to H to like H5, like every event, even the qualifiers. And I swear the first one had like there's just a huge spike. It was like I swear it was like 200. It was 200 plus. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Because everyone was. I mean, that's how you get into Worlds. So you have to like play in that. So everyone was playing in it, and it was like 250. I think.
You know what I love too, by the way, about this Infinite roadmap and this $1 million tournament. So the reason why I asked that question, right, is because people like to like roast Halo 5 a lot, which I understand slightly because I roast Halo 5. So like I roast Halo 5 in the way that 343 presented it and updated it and tried to make it a working esport, right? Like it was a long learning curve for 343. But you know what I absolutely love based on what they said? Halo Infinite on a global scale will release with a full 12-month roadmap laid out ahead of the game's release, which will culminate in the Halo World Championship with a minimum prize pool of $1 million for that event alone. Now, let me tell you something. Let me tell you why I think this is such a big, on how I'm taking it, such a big post, okay? One of the biggest mistakes that Halo made back in 2016 was how soon they had their World Championship. Because the game had a World Championship like 4 months into the game.
Yeah.
So we had 200 people or 200 teams participating. Only 16 made it to regionals. Only 8 after regionals made it to Worlds. After Worlds was a 8-team, I think it was 8, right, Matt? An 8-team pro league.
Yeah, they kind of
into a 4-team invitation only tournament. That was an 8-month span. That's all that there was. So amateur players had absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that kind of, because I always forget about that stuff, that's like really bad actually. Because imagine if they drag Worlds out for a year.
Yep.
Like, and then how many people stay for the full year?
Yep. And let me tell you this too, by the way, because I want you to finish your thought. If they say this though, if you remember in 2018 during the final year of Halo 5, we made massive changes to the program with a much stronger focus on format and quality. That is the place we are picking up from. So what that tells me, open events, because we had more open events in the 2018 format. I think it was 2018. We had more open events. I don't actually remember, but basically MLG came on board. We had NOLA, then there was London,
Columbus.
then there was there's Orlando. There, like, you know what I mean? Like, there was this much more structured format for amateur players to succeed. There was when we had the London event, there was Orlando as an open event, London, Atlanta. What was the event?
Was Columbus an open event?
No,
Yeah, it was, right?
No, I think Columbus was invite only. Yeah, I think Columbus was invite only.
No, wait. I thought it was regionals, but couldn't open teams go though? It wasn't like because there's a lot of people at that event. I thought. I
actually don't remember. I can't remember regionals. So basically, they threw like 4 open events in 2018 alone, 3 or 4 in 2018 alone.
Wait, maybe not.
At the very end, you know what I mean? So, what that tells me is we're gonna go back to. I'm not saying we're not going to have a pro league or anything like that, but I think their hope is we're going to get open events with the end prize of the end of the year, $1 million plus. I mean, man, Matt, for amateur players, and hopefully, my hope is, I hope they allow amateur players to play at the $1 million event.
Yeah.
Why not?
Do like
do an open event. Have it normal seating like you would any normal event. Do it. Let an amateur team try to win $1 million. Right?
I feel like that gets so many people to like play. But I don't know. I guess Bees.
No, what? Go ahead. Talk it through.
No,
why can't that work?
I don't know. Well, I'm trying to think of like a game where is that like a good idea, or should like the worlds be like strictly
I think that you can argue either way on wanting worlds to be more exclusive. I think that Halo would be one of the first to do $1 million open event, and it's like, why not? Like, why not do something so different to other people? It's literally like throwing a normal event. Like our NOLA prize was like 250,000. I think it was 250,000. Or how much was Atlanta? 150,000, 200,000.
For first or prize pool?
Prize pool
was 250.
Right, so prize pool for Atlanta is 250. I mean, obviously it's like
something.
Yeah, obviously it's a lot of money, right? Like for a world championship, it's a lot of money. I understand you want it to be this exclusive thing, but I honestly think that at the very least, have it at the end and allow amateur players figure out a way that they can attempt to make it in. You know what I mean? Don't make it like points based. I don't know, bro. You get what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it. I don't know. I guess you have to see when it.
I'm not sold on the open event. I would like for it to be an event because I think it'd be really
maybe
cool.
Maybe it could be like open, but like maybe you don't. I don't know how you could do it. Like,
why don't you have top 8? Hold on.
Play for a different prize pool.
Top 8? No.
Weird?
How about why not this? Right. Top 8 auto in. Top 8 of like the season auto in to Worlds. Then you do like a qualifier on land qualifier on like a Friday.
Yeah.
And then Worlds happen Saturday, Sunday.
No, that's what I was about to say. You should make it so it's like the pro teams are like, whatever. I mean, like it should be like that. If you qualify through whatever, you should always be like.
I think that would be the best
like a good seed. But they should make it so it's like they should make like the last chance qualifier where it's kind of like,
dude, that'd be
you're playing for like your last chance for like the $1 million and you play it on land. Like let's say you lose online, now you have one more chance. You go to the tournament and you could be playing for. I think that would be pretty cool.
I think that would be the best format you've ever seen.
You get knocked out, or you can literally make $1 million that week or something.
I think that would literally be the best format you've ever seen in Halo, and I think that would alone keep Halo's population at probably, dare I say, an all-time high.
People would constantly, like, amateurs would always show up to the like they'd be like, all right, well, I mean, hey, at least there's $1 million. Like, I don't know, it's like, bro, you could always show up to that tournament.
Imagine
have a chance to like play.
Like, okay, top 8's auto in, so you're not playing the first seed. If you're an amateur team, you need to get top. Let's say it's 16 make it through Worlds, right? So 8 pro teams are already in. The rest are amateur teams. I mean, bro, you're an amateur team. You need one upset, and you make it in a pro bracket. And when you make it in a pro bracket, you start throwing in. There's different regions that are playing, and so many different things. I mean, bro, you could be walking away with a lot of money from this last chance qualifier tournament. That's all. I mean, to me, that's like, if you're an amateur player and that's what happens at the end of the year, I mean, imagine how sick that would be. I'd be on the game if I knew that was a thing. I'd be on the game no matter what the entire year, because
That's what I'm saying.
you can
gotta-
literally make your investment and make your name known on the biggest stage possible at the very last year.
Yeah, see if they do that, that'd be
That'd be
but
sick.
even if they
be
something
sick.
where it's like just Worlds being at the end is actually
Yeah.
pretty crucial, because I kind of
Yeah.
forgot about that, but
I think
that's
'cause
like
do you
having
take
in the first 4 months is
do you take the
I-
article as the same, like the
Yeah.
12-month
I mean, like,
roadmap to
I mean,
culminate
even if
in
they
the Halo
didn't
World
say it,
Championship?
even if they didn't say it, I just assume like
Because they dropped
I
the
mean
ball.
it's good that they said it. Yeah,
2016 they dropped the ball.
Yeah.
2
And I think with 2018 they started to like pick it back up with because they obviously were like, do we need open events? But I mean
Yeah.
it was kind of like
It was
late
too
at
late.
that point.
It was
It's
too
like
late.
you
Yeah.
can't do it. You can't do it literally 2 to 3 years into the game. Like everyone's gone.
We
at least
had-
they had open events, but
Yeah, we had our highest open event after the fact was like 80 teams, which wasn't terrible. Like 80 teams wasn't absolutely awful. Like I think it was like Atlanta, we got like 80 teams.
yeah.
But I mean, bro, imagine how many open teams there would have been. Imagine how many teams there would have been in if there were open events throughout the whole year. When there
Like,
was
imagine
there
they
was
had X
80
games, and then after X Games they had like 2
an
open
open
events.
There was 80 teams.
Or like regionals was like an open event or something.
Matthew. There were 80 teams at this Halo 5 event on the last year of the game. Imagine if in 2016 Worlds was thrown at the end, you got a $2.5 million tournament at the end, and after X Games, because like X Games is a cool invitation only event,
Yeah.
and I don't imagine they would ever make that like something like public, obviously. Imagine if after that there's like 2 open events. I mean, bro, we would have been sending 150 plus, easy.
Yeah, if they would have done like Columbus as an open, because Columbus is always like a
big
It's
event.
like a good like
Yeah.
That always has like a good turnout. If they would did like regionals, or we had it as like an open event, maybe it could have been like a not regionals, just an actual normal one. But yeah, I never really thought about they had Worlds 4 months in the game.
They
That's kind of a problem actually.
They completely butchered the first 8 months of Halo 5.
Yeah, they kind of like did it. They did it
did it backwards.
It was actually really rushed when I
Halo
didn't even
Worlds,
think about how bad it was.
Halo Worlds, Matt, had 100K viewers.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was like, here's a 13-week pro league. And then
And
after
it's
your
like-
pro league, here's a 4-team, like 1.5 day tournament.
Yeah.
You
Should
know?
be
Like-
the complete. It should have literally been like the complete opposite.
Yep. Live and learn.
Should have been a pro
Live
league
and
before
learn.
Worlds,
Yep.
like all the other stuff, like.
I feel like the answer is so
that makes
simple.
sense.
We
How
had to
did
go through the
Worlds
growing
turn
pain,
to-
but I feel like the answer is so simple.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I feel like I don't know. I guess also I don't know. They're just inexperienced because like Halo's never seen this
It's
before,
true.
and this was back in like 2016 / almost
Yeah. It was a long
2016.
time
So
ago.
it's kind of like
Yeah.
back then they had no idea like
There weren't
wasn't,
many
like, too much,
million
like,
dollar
pro league,
events
like,
back then. I think their strategy was, let's make this as big as possible right off
and
the
see
jump.
if it like and just try to bring in like as many viewers, but
Yeah.
they didn't really think about like the long term.
But
Because like I mean, 100K viewers on like that's pretty good for Halo. Like a lot
That's
of
what-
people were
dude,
watching it. It was super
Xbox
big,
only,
but
like that's pretty
Yeah.
insane. And I think
was the biggest console tourney ever, right? 2.5, because no one's ever had.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure it
Call
was,
of
'cause COD's
Duty
only had $1 million
Call of
and-
Duty's past that now, but back
Well,
then
no, but now we
back
were the
then,
first one until
yeah,
they,
we had the largest
Wait,
console
what was
prize
their
pool.
what was their biggest? What's Call of Duty's biggest? Did they do 3 million?
I think they just did 3 million like this
Oh,
past year.
okay,
I
yeah.
think
Well, we were back in the day 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago.
2.5.
Because COD was always $1 million, and I remember it was 2.5, and it was like in the article and saying this is the biggest console tourney ever. Besides,
Yeah.
like, I mean, PC is you can't beat PC because it's got Dota. That's not fair.
This is why I keep saying it, right? Because we have to get there, and it's the most stressful thing in the world that you have to get through these months. But I mean, man, we see it lining up, man. On the esports side, the game's got to be good, right? But on the esports side, we're setting up for success over here. We really are, and you could see it. You know what I mean? You could see it happening. But obviously, the downtime until then is just brutal.
Yeah, and there's other factors of the game, but
Yeah.
it's looking good for the events at least.
Yeah, 100%. Last thing I wanted to talk about, because I think we covered some really important and good topics. Did you see monthly updates starting in January regarding Halo esports?
No, I did not actually see that.
Right.
Wait,
Yeah, so I'll read it to you real
Light.
quick.
Okay.
So it says monthly updates, transparency, transparency, transparency. You want it, we need to deliver it. With COVID-19 impact and delay of the game, we had to make a shift in our plans multiple times. Starting in January, we're going to be kicking off a new monthly blog series called Designing the Halo Esports Ecosystem. Each month, we will dive into our particular piece of what our vision for Halo Esports is. Over the course of the year and leading up to the release of the game, our goal is to paint a clear picture so you know what we're doing and why we're doing it.
All right. Wait, so they're just doing that for like not even like Infinite related stuff? Like it's literally just
I think it's regarding everything. I think it's regarding everything, basically. I think it's for Infinite. Each month we'll dive into our particular piece of our
like, oh, you think this is only Infinite, or this
over
is
the
like
course
for
of the
MCC,
year
like...
and leading up to the release of the game? I think it's for Infinite. I think it's kind of more for Infinite than like the MCC stuff because it says over the course of the year leading up to the release. But I mean, even
what are they going to release every month though?
I don't
like that. Doesn't really.
I'll tell you
what.
Like
it's got to be for the MCC stuff, no? Too. I think it's just everything in general. Like I mean, it's for Infinite, but like
I think
they're going to release it for.
Might just be for everything.
I'll
tell you what.
Because Infinite's not out for another.
I'll tell you what though.
Months,
I'll let you know in January. All right.
Yeah. No, I think it's. I feel like it's going to be with MCC. With Infinite too, obviously.
I think
they're going to start like updating people every month with what's happening instead of being like 2 weeks before. All right, now we're playing H5.
Yeah.
And then I think they're going to try to like. I don't know. Yeah. I mean that's also thank God.
I think that's what I was going to say is like I think that even though I don't know what's really going to come of it, like of what the monthly update's going to be or what game it's going to be, but I mean I don't know about you, but I'm happy reading that because I think we've been saying it for the first word, right? The first word of that whole part, transparency. You know, and it's like we've literally been sitting here saying that's been our biggest complaint with really 343
with everything.
It wasn't the delay of the game, it was just how it's gone about, you know.
It's been like a little. Yeah.
So monthly blog posts, you happy?
Yeah. It's anything transparency. Step in
the right direction. Like this blog post, I think for me, this blog post all steps in the right direction. Gave me some positivity to end my year. Would you kind of, you're feeling the same about it, like reading all this stuff and hearing about it?
Yeah, taking some good steps forward. So I'm actually happy about that.
Yeah.
Anything to improve
get us to a flight test
communication. Let's go, baby.
Who knows what happens after that?
Give me something.
All right, brother. Great episode, man. Blast as always. We didn't even like go into some of the stuff I wanted to, but honestly, I think that we talked about some really awesome topics that hopefully, people are going to. I think the cool thing about us talking, like, I want people to look back on some of the stuff we said, and it's like it almost happened without you realizing it. You know, like the whole roadmap thing back in 2016. Like, how many people probably think Halo 5 is this failure, right? But when you actually break down the numbers, like what Matt and I are talking about, there are a lot of people playing the game, and there were a lot of people watching the game. But our approach was so poorly. I say our, but Microsoft and 343 approach was so poor that with what they're doing now, Matt feels the same way as me. They're setting up the ladder for success, and then after that it's just execution.
Yeah, I think it should be. I mean, they learned now. It's like back then you could have an excuse because it's like they didn't really know what they're doing, but now that you've
seen the format,
you already know like what you should be doing. So I think they should be good. And then you also have MLG, old MLG esports arena, or not arena, whatever the esports engine.
So live events are about to be sick. Last comment for me, basically, but esport engine live events. I mean, bro, with the year we've had, last LAN event for Halo, February of 2020. Who knows when we're gonna get a LAN event? But imagine that. Dude. Imagine that first event of Halo Infinite.
Dude, the MLG events always go so. Dude, remember the MLG like the Worlds 2018
one? 2018 was so.
Like, do you see? Remember when you walked in, like just like the setup
the
it was.
Crowd.
Remember you walk into like
the chief,
the Master Chief. Like you walk in, there's like these statues, not statues, like these little like big Master Chief. There's like It's actually like pretty cool. I was like, damn. Remember you walk in like there's like the little feature station on one side. The main stage was like pretty huge, and there's like I don't know. It was just like I kind of forget about the event. I'm like, damn, holy, that event was like actually pretty. It was like in a nice area too. Like
Esport
it's, like,
Engine,
getting in, like-
aka I won't even say Esport Engine, but Adam Apicella throws the meanest, like best
it's
events,
pretty-
like just top tier I've ever been, like really I've ever been to. And I mean, when we get back to that day, do you remember when we walked out on stage? You know, we ended up getting destroyed in the finals, so we don't want to focus on this Worlds too much. But remember, like walking out and like standing in front of our monitors. We've done that before.
Yeah.
But remember, like the crowd that there was, like at this like last Worlds that we had, like.
Just the play, it was just super big. Like just I don't know, it's just good. I remember just like walking in. That was the cool part. Like even I saw like fans walking, and they're like, my dad. Remember, we're just like, what the? It was actually so sick. Or I'm like, holy shit! Like there's just like I don't know. It was something I've never seen because like no other tournament organizers are really doing that. Like they're not putting like that much effort.
Adam just throws top notch events, man. It's literally that simple, and I'm so pumped to have him and Esport Engine working these events because I think all the parts are there, man. We need a good game, but all the parts are there. Dude, imagine the world championship that we're gonna have. Imagine that. You're describing the 2018 Worlds, right, Matt?
They're probably already brewing something up already.
Oh, 100% they are because it's so long to plan that stuff. But Matt, you're talking about 2018 Worlds and how you felt. Imagine, I guess 2022 Worlds, Halo Infinite, first time. We probably haven't been to that many LAN events, right? Imagine that LAN event though, like that world championship, of how significant it would be of all the things we've gone through over the past 2 years. Imagine that world championship,
It'd be so mean. Golden Omnite, so.
Oh, yeah, that's weird. I'm jumping on H5 right.
Dude.
Oh my god. All right, yo, let's end it. Matt, thank you as always. Matthew, thank you for joining.
Yes, sir.
It's not really joining. It's our show, or podcast show, video, whatever you want to call it. But shout out to everyone that made it this far. Matthew, last words for the people.
Yeah. Shout out to the people. That's all I have to say.
I like
Shout
that.
out to the people.
That's good. All right, brother.
We are the people.
Great episode, man.
Yes, sir.
Guys, thank you for watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.